Don't blink. Blink and you're dead. They are fast, faster than you can imagine. Don't turn your back, don't look away, and don't blink. Good luck. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin, I am a geek, you are watching Kevin the Geek, and it is time for another New Who Doctor Who review. This is a fan favourite. This is Blink. Very quick note, just before I get started today, thank you so much for everyone subscribed to the channel. I've just managed to get over 250 subscribers, which is amazing. Which puts us very closer to me doing an unscheduled video. For those of you who missed it, I did a ranking video about a week ago where I ranked the top 10 best emotional speeches from modern Doctor Who. I am going to do a follow-up where I rank the top 10 badass Doctor Who speeches. However, that is supposed to be coming out at the start of June. But I did say in that video that if you could get me to 250 subscribers and give me 50 likes on the video, then I would release that latest video early. So at the time of recording, I'm about 20 likes away from hitting that target. So if you missed it, go back, check out that first video, because it's great. I put a lot of hard work into it. But then you can also get the next one released early. But as for today, let's talk about Blink. Now this is the second, or some may argue the third, Doctor Light story. Love and Monsters is unquestionably a Doctor Light episode. And Christopher Eccleston, he did once refer to Father's Day as being a Doctor Light episode, which is an interesting take, because I never really considered that as a Doctor Light episode, but maybe in terms of production schedules, it actually was a Doctor Light episode. But this episode, Blink, that does absolutely everything that Love and Monsters couldn't. First of all, you had an incredible story. Really, truly incredible. You had a main character as the Doctor replacement who is really likeable. People really liked Sally Sparrow, and a lot of people want her to come back, and maybe if Carey Mulligan hadn't become as global and as such an A-lister as she did become, maybe Sally would have come back. And if there's going to be any time of her coming back, the closest we're going to have would be in the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who, you know, because David Tennant's coming back. But to be perfectly honest, you know, I think we would have heard that Carey Mulligan would have been doing that by now, so I'm not holding out any hope there. And then, of course, you have all of the supporting cast. Now, I would say that for Love and Monsters, they weren't necessarily bad, but they weren't like necessarily really engaging, and you didn't really want to know more about them. But here in Blink, every single one that you had, regardless whether it was Kathy, whether it was her brother Larry, whether it was Billy Shipton, he deserves an MPV. I'm not going to lie. You know, absolutely everyone played their parts to perfection in this incredible story. And of course, you have the Weeping Angels, which is pretty much the best that we're ever going to see of them, and I will move on to them in just a second. But, like I said, Sally Sparrow, brilliant. Larry, a little bit iffy at the start, but he really grew on you as the story progressed. Kathy, you know, they had such a wonderful friend dynamic, and from the tiny bit of time that you spent with them, you really did feel that they were such close friends, and that's amazing to see when you have, you know, pretty much, 5 minutes together on the screen and a few lines of dialogue together. So that's really impressive. But yeah, my main man, Billy Shipton.
Okay, what's the big question?
Will you have a drink with me?
I'm sorry.
Drink? You? Me? Now?
Aren't you on duty, Detective Inspector Shipton?
Nope. Knocked off before I left. Told them I had a family crisis.
Why?
Because life is short and you are hot. Drink?
That man is just, for me, he's brilliant. It's such a legend. And it was really great to see, old Billy as well. He was just wonderful. And it's great to see two actors unrelated to each other who were conceivably the exact same character. And considering you'd just literally seen Billy, young Billy, I should say, in a way you'd think that you wouldn't think that it would be the same character with such a quick transition. You'd need a bit of time to get used to him. But you pretty much cottoned on straight away. And I loved his line. Well, the duo of the lines. Yeah, the first time the life is short and you are hot. And then, of course, old Billy then changed it around. Life is long and you are hot. And in a way, I've always wanted to use that with a girl, But A, I think that could come across as really cheesy. B, I probably don't have the confidence or the guts to ever do that. And it's I think it would really only work as a if you're kind of a fan of the show. Otherwise it's a bit really. But yeah, I love Billy and I loved Kathy and Larry and absolutely everyone. You could tell how excited I am to rewatch this and kind of talk about this. And I was kind of worried that with this episode that I would maybe be I don't know, a little bit biased because of course it is such a well-known episode. It's very rightly regarded as a really good episode. And I was thinking, am I just kind of going to be jumping on the bandwagon a little bit? But no, rewatching it tonight, I just remembered how much I love this episode. I'm really happy that I finally get to talk about this one. There's not a lot of Doctor Who episodes where I'm like, I cannot wait to talk about this one. This, of course, was one. The Satan Pit, Impassable Planet one last season 2. That was one. There's definitely quite a few in season 4 that I'm looking forward to. So, again, remember, if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe and like the video, turn on notifications. Now, when I do my scoring in a little bit, you'll see that I'm not giving this a perfect score because I don't think I'm ever going to give any TV show or movie or anything like that, if I do these scorings, I'm never going to give it 100%. Because it's impossible. There is nothing, there's no such thing as perfection. But this is a really, really strong episode. Really strong. And, well, I suppose, we've got to talk about the Weeping Angels because season 3 of Doctor Who has been, I would say, quite weak when it comes to the villain. At this point, I mean, to be perfectly fair, you're literally having to go back to pretty much the Satan Pit, with the devil, and maybe arguably the Daleks versus Cybermen for the season 2 finale, since you've had a really, really good villain. The Daleks, I thought, in this season were pretty good, but this is where you get literally A-list villains in this episode. I love the design of them. And the fact that, I mean, there's no CGI in this episode, which is another great thing. It was very cleverly shot, and the actual statues themselves, they look fantastic for being basically women dolled up, and they're obviously painted in such a way to make them look like stone. There's just something really inherently creepy about them. And I would say more so when they're kind of in the weeping statue pose, because when they're kind of chasing them and you see them with the fangs and obviously their eyes are open, they do look kind of frightening and being soulless and everything. But I think it's something about them being creepy and they're kind of shying away. There's something unnerving. In the same way that if you've ever seen, like a mime artist who's playing a sort of living statue, it's quite creepy seeing them, knowing that it's a person and they're, if you put the money in the hat, whatever, they're going to suddenly move or whatever. There's just something so unsettling. And I think the very nature of the way that they kill is very clever as an idea and a concept.
Fascinating race, the Weeping Angels. The only psychopaths in the universe to kill you nicely. No mess, no fuss, they just zap you into the past and let you live to death. The rest of your life used up and blown away in the blink of an eye. You die in the past, and in the present they consume the energy of all the days you might have had. All your stolen moments. They're creatures of the abstract, they live off potential energy.
The idea that you literally still get to live your life, but not in the time period that you know. Now, there are people that I've spoken to over the years who said, oh, I wouldn't mind living in the past in certain times, and I can dabble in the stock market and bet on things, knowing, about future events and things like that. But when you think about it, it's a really horrible thing, because you've grown up. Obviously, if we take Billy and Kathy, for example, these are people with friends, with loved ones. Kathy has got her brother, she's got her best friend. Billy, of course, he's single, but he's probably got family of some kind, mum or dad or whatever. And all of a sudden, bang, you've lost everything. You don't have a job because you're back in the past. All of these hopes and dreams that you had, they're gone in an instant. Everything about this episode just really, really works. And even the Doctor, because of course when I do my scoring in a minute, obviously there's always a category for the Doctor, and it's a hard one, because I remember doing the scoring for Love and Monsters, and I thought, he's barely in it, I have to give him a low score. The Doctor is literally in this episode the probably same amount of time as he was in Love and Monsters. But because of the DVD nature of it, he does actually technically appear on screen a bit more, but him as a character physically there is about the same amount of time. Yet throughout the episode, there was just this presence of the Doctor. Martha, not so much in this episode. She was just there in two very brief bits, three actually. But I think the Doctor really still had such an amazing presence despite being in it so very little. There really isn't much more I can say for this one, but I freaking love Blink. Now, I am going to do my scoring now, so if you are new to the channel, the way that I score Doctor Who episodes is I give 10 categories a score out of 10 to give an overall score out of 100. But let's take a look at the scores for Blink. And there you have it. And so, Blink, the episode featuring the Weeping Angels and Sally Sparrow, has scored 87 marks out of 100, which means that I'm ranking it today as an A+ episode. What are your thoughts on Blink? Don't forget to drop your comments down below. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you are new. Next week, we are moving to 2 sets of finales. On Torchwood Tuesday, we are going to do the final 2 episodes of Torchwood, Captain Jack Harkness and End of Days. And then on the Doctor Who Wednesday, well, for most people, like I always say, they consider Utopia and The Sound of Drums and Last of the Time Lords a 3-part story. I'm not doing it like that. So next week, it is going to be the 2-part finale for Torchwood Series 1 and Utopia. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Check out my Doctor Who rankings. Check out my reaction to the Doctor Who Weakest Link special. And until next time, my name's Kevin. I'm a geek, and you've been watching Kevin the Geek. Don't blink. Goodbye.